My name is Sarah Seba. I'm the Education Coordinator here at the McLean County Arts Center, a role that I've been in since March of 2015. As part of the staff here, I oversee the educational programs for youth and adults. The work that I contributed to the staff and board members show is an exploration in systems and data points, and for me, I find that in my research and in my artwork, I'm most interested in the state in which the full picture is still emerging. So a balance between what you know and what is unknowable. And for me, this work represents that lovely state in between of incompleteness.
My name is Mike McNeil and I'm a local artist. I've been painting for almost 70 years. My first set of paints was from my grandparents. I painted a portrait of Hopalong Cassidy's horse and sold it to my grandfather. So I was from the beginning in the market of pushing paintings. I majored in painting in college along with mathematics and did some graduate work in painting at Washington University. I'm a faculty member here at the Art Center and a local artist. I'm a genre artist. I paint what I see. If I don't see it, I can't paint it. When we first moved here 30-odd years ago, I didn't think there was much to paint in Illinois. Since then, I've started looking a little more closely and seeing the sky and the countryside.
My name is Megan Cathal Bursett. I am traditionally a painter, but I work in mixed mediums, so I usually work with acrylic and collage, which includes paper and poured paint. I work as an educator at 3 area colleges here, so Illinois State, Hartley Community College, and this semester I'm starting at Illinois Wesleyan University with a painting class. Okay, this piece is called Future Forgetting. It's a small 15 by 16 inch acrylic and collage on panel, so it's mostly poured paint, paper, and acrylic paint. And the title is related to the way that the layers of the painting interact. So the idea of future forgetting being those things that are happening in our daily lives that we experience, but then later on forget. So the idea of things that are happening now that will no longer even matter or that we won't recall later. And so that being through the interactions of relationships in the painting, for example, how the background is coming over and sort of obstructing the foreground. And so there's sort of a confusing mixture of layers going on there.
My name is Rashad Taylor and I am from Bloomington, Illinois, and I started as an artist, I would say, in high school with photography and starting working with our yearbook and newspaper at Normal Community High School. From there I went to Murray State University where I majored in photography, fine art photography, where I really kind of learned the ropes and developed as an artist and what I was really trying to say and do with my art. So after that, after college, I ended up going to New York for a little bit, and then finally getting a real job because I couldn't make it as a starving artist, but I still continued to do my work in my free time and make time for it. So I guess that fast forwards to today, where I focus mostly on wet plate collodion photography and also some black and white.
My name is Joy Winnell, and I am a member of the Board of Directors for the McLean County Art Center. I have a small part-time business that I do handmade greeting cards, so my media would be paper, which has led me to the piece that I did for this exhibition. The piece that I am going to exhibit is an all-paper piece titled White Lady Evermore. And it's in honor of a white wolf that was beloved by the Yellowstone National Park, who has since passed.
The piece that's in this staff and board show is entitled Cloud Dovetail, and obviously the shape of the box from which the quote cloud emerges is what we call a dovetail shape. Dovetail in wood design refers to the trapezoidal joint that locks pieces of wood together. Basically, I just took that dovetail shape and made a volume out of it. And this is an example of one of the pieces in that group.
Hi, I'm Deborah Risberg, and I have an MFA in photography from Southern Illinois University. And I haven't had a piece of art in a show for a long time, so this is a great privilege. I taught photography at a couple universities, and I was an art curator for a long time, and I owned a yoga studio for 20 years. So I was busy, and I wasn't making art like I would have really liked to be doing. So now that I'm semi-retired, I'm just starting to get involved again.
Hi, my name's Ian Crawley. I am a local artist in Bloomington Normal, originally from London, England. I've got a studio just over here on Washington Street. My primarily work is sculptural, but I do a lot of drawing also. And part of the work I do is observational drawings. And usually in part I've usually used kind of discarded materials from bushes and branches and stuff like to work. This series, the work I'm including in this particular show is from a series of work I did on trees on and around the trail in Bloomington Normal. And basically I kind of took these studies and kind of played around both in graphite, watercolour and ink, etc. And the couple I'll be showing, or the drawings I'll be showing in this one are ink drawings.
Hi, my name's Dave Templeton. I've been an artist, since college, which is many, many moons ago. But I just started painting, oil painting, let's say in the last 10 years after I retired from a full-time job. I think this show is going to show that the staff, besides being professional in their work in exhibiting art, that they are actually artists themselves. We are artists themselves. I'm on the exhibition committee for the MCAC, and I enjoy the work very much.
I'm Linda Willis Fisher. I'm a member of the McLean County Arts Center board, and I'm in my second term now, and I also serve on the education committee. I recently retired from Illinois State University. I taught art education there for a number of years, and then I taught high school art prior to that. And it was really at that time, post-bachelor's in the 70s, that I started really being interested in ceramics. My bachelor's degree was in education, but kind of a concentration in painting and in ceramics. And so when I went back for my master's degree in 1973, I again chose those two areas and became extremely involved in ceramics. Now, even though I was living in Minot, North Dakota at the time, I went back to where I had done some of my undergraduate work at Fort Hays State University in Kansas. And it was there that I really knew that clay was where I needed to be. And even though I am capable of throwing on the wheel, and when I taught high school, my students did fantastic work, I always felt like I was a hand-built person. When I was working on my master's in the summers in Hays, Kansas, summers of 73, 74, 75, I just became fascinated with the landscape around, and then would find all kinds of natural textures, and including the septarium, which is a calcined clay clod, which I use to texture this particular form that's in the show. Now, a septarium is formed by, first of all, it's a clod of clay, and then there are little fissures that build up over time as the clod breaks apart, and then those little fissures fill in. And then I use that to impress onto the surface of the clay.
My name is Justin Hay, originally from Grays Lake, Illinois, and I'm the project coordinator here at the McLean County Arts Center. I'm a practicing artist working in ceramics and basically making forms focusing on utility. The works that I have displayed at the Arts Center are two different pieces. One of them is a vase form, the other one is a grouping of cups. The vase form is messing around with different color patterns and techniques of form. And the cups, I was focusing on each individual cup, but then also the grouping of cups as a composition as a whole.
I'm Doug Johnson. I'm the Executive Director of the McLean County Arts Center. It's a role I've had for the last 14 years. I did my bachelor's and master's at Illinois State University and my master's of fine arts degree at Northern Illinois University. I'm primarily a landscape painter, and for the first 20 years of my painting career, I worked primarily in oil paint. But for the last 5 or 6 years, I've been working with acrylic, in large part because the chemistry of acrylic paint has caught up to the point that it's a much more sophisticated medium than it was years before. My paintings are landscape paintings, primarily areas of the Midwest, but I'm always excited when I have the opportunity to find a landscape image or place which speaks to me. The small painting I have in this exhibition behind me is called Whippoorwill, and it's based on a camping excursion I had this summer in the Catskills of upstate New York, a place that has great personal meaning because of the Hudson River School of Landscape Painters, but also it's a lovely, gorgeous place.
My name is Adam Farkas. I'm an artist and a teacher and a curator. And I make artwork kind of mostly about social and kind of political justice and the kind of like emotions that are surround those topics in a variety of different media. Like I would consider myself an interdisciplinary artist. Hotter Nights Ahead is a appropriated object sculpture that's one object, and it's a rusted weight from a clock, a grandfather clock. I found the object in Manhattan, just on the street, and use it as an object with itself, with that title, to kind of think about the future and what the future might hold. So Hotter Nights Ahead could be really direct and really literal and be about climate change, but it could also mean about like political or social hotness or kind of like turmoil in the future. Thinking about the world we're in now and the social and political climate, and about how, in the actual physical climate, and about how those things seem to be progressing and becoming more contested and more controversial and more problematic. Another important thing that I learned was that I got to see how art works in a community. So like I came from this world of like really academic art that's for education and is very cerebral and conceptual, and to be here and to see art that is that way, but then also art that has to be more populist and it has to be accessible and it's for a broader audience outside of academia, was really important to kind of understand the difference between how audiences work in different contexts. And I think that's the thing that the Art Center does really well for the city of Bloomington in the area, is that they can serve the academics who are in the area, but then also people who aren't educated in art can come and enjoy and think about and be challenged by what's here.
Yes, I'm Dan Addington, and I'm the owner of Addington Gallery. It's located in the River North Gallery District in Chicago, which is kind of a historical art district that has been around since the 80s, and we've been around there since the late 90s, early 2000s, and it became Addington Gallery in 2007. Yeah, so at the Art Center, I feel like I got a chance to be in touch more with the community in Bloomington than would have happened if I'd have been on campus over in Normal the whole time. And I met artists from the community, I met board members, and people that weren't even necessarily associated with the university that I was going to, who enjoyed coming to the Art Center and seeing the exhibitions. I learned to do exhibitions from scratch, basically. The schedule might be in place, but It was here's the art and here's the space. And as a student, I found it really challenging at first, but really thrilling to put something visual together. That was a new experience for me. And that's something that I carry with me to this day every time I'm putting up a new show at the gallery. The experience of trying to do something, trying to present the work in a way that was exciting and that told a story about the work. And you know, the idea of laying out a show, of that being a creative act in and of itself, I think that was all new and thrilling those were thrilling ideas for me to kind of wrap my head around at that point.